This heartbreaking picture of an emaciated polar bear has been circling social media. The pictures are incredibly sad.
Climate change is having a severe impact on polar bears because of the ice that forms is forming later each fall and breaking up much earlier every spring. This is important. Many animals such as polar bears have a crucial role in our ecosystem.
Every organism in any ecosystem is critically important. And if you think about the sea ice, you kind of have to think of the sea ice as like the forest floor. It supports everything. So there's algae and other microorganisms that live on the ice, and then the fish feed on them, and then the seals and the whales and the marine birds feed on them, and then the polar bears in turn feed on the seals. So the polar bears are important, but the most important thing about that particular environment happens to be the sea ice. They need the ice in order to hunt. There's other prey available to them, caribou and other things, but that doesn't have enough fat in it that they need. They absolutely need the seals in order to survive, to get the amount of calories that they need. And the way that they hunt the seals is they lay quietly by one of the holes, and when the seals come up to breathe, they'll pounce on them and get them that way. So they cannot swim for long distances. They're not going to be able to sustain that with the calories that they need.
Globally, animals around us are on an animal conservation status, most of which are endangered. One group of primates, orangutans, are suffering from climate change and as well as our own consumption use.
Habitat loss. Their habitat is being destroyed at an incredibly unprecedented rate at this time. We're basically consuming their homes. The palm oil is the major driving force behind the habitat loss and destruction of their homes. It's just at an unprecedented rate. In 2004, there was an attempt to make a roundtable on sustainable palm oil so that it's not going into virgin forests, but rather using areas that have already been destroyed to some extent. But the jury's still out on whether or not, or how effective that actually is in saving their homes. I think that you should really be aware of how many things palm oil actually is in. It's in your hair products, it's in detergent, it's in your foods. So just to really read those labels for palm oil and palm kernel oil, and when you can avoid it, and if you can't avoid it, then look for the ones that say they're RSPCO, which is the Roundtable for Sustainable Palm Oil. Well, we're actively participating in the breeding program for orangutans throughout North America among the accredited zoos. We support different organizations that are working on orangutan conservation. We're very involved in the orangutan community in North America, our keepers collaborating with other keepers. And we also every year try to remind people that you should try to avoid palm oil as much as you can in the products that you consume. Well, we are active participants in the breeding program for polar bears among accredited institutions in North America. We're a big supporter of Polar Bears International, a major conservation organization for polar bears. We also support other organizations that are working on behalf of polar bears. And then internally, we do a lot of work with polar bears, a lot of different studies to increase their welfare while living in managed care.
To learn more about the animals around us, visit www.czs.org/Brookfield Zoo.